Good morning, welcome to Morning Review. This is Kim speaking on Thursday, the 5th of January. So, looking at the euro dollar first, and well, yesterday, as expected, it did end up more positive. We're now heading up towards the monthly pivot there, which may well get hit at some point today. At the moment, it's certainly looking more bullish, and as I said yesterday morning, as um, we had the chance of running up towards the R1, which we did. It already at that point, or was pretty close to that point, putting this sort of confirmed higher low in, which is again, which is done. And since then, we've put in a series of higher lows, higher highs in this move. Today, well, we have got, as I say, monthly pivot just above us, which may well get hit. We've had a fair old range already. It's not my favourite of mornings when it's done this, because you think, well, how much further will it go? But we'll see. But as I say, got the potential for the monthly pivot there. If it does start selling off, we have got an untouched daily pivot below us, but it's already gone through R1 into R2, and generally there's a lesser probability when this occurs so early for that to happen. But we'll see. It could. We'll see how the morning rolls out. But at the moment, I'd rather be more bullish, and at least I would expect at some point a pull back to the 60-21s. But not necessarily all the way back to the pivot. So you just need to watch for that. Cable, again, well, put a bullish pivot swing in yesterday. It's now sort of running into the daily 21 and touched it properly this time. Air kiss the first time, proper touch, having a bit of a reaction to that. But again, it's got the monthly pivot, which could be a target at some point. As with yesterday, I suggested we may see some upside, and I was a bit more towards the bullish side. Necessarily work out for me in the morning, but did run eventually in the afternoon after quite a lot of chop yesterday, hitting the target of the previous day's highs there, but it actually went well past that in the end. And well, it's again well on its way towards its monthly pivot, but also we got a daily pivot below untouched, and there's a reasonable probability of that being hit. So we'll be watching for that now. It's not as far extended, it hasn't hit its R1, so possibility or probability is a bit higher of seeing that being hit. But again, even if that doesn't hit the 60-21s, it's been a while, and they may well get hit this morning at some point. So just watching from that. Okay, but the biggest picture really is still bullish for me on those currencies, both pairs. Okay, dollar yen. Dollar yen's sold through its monthly pivot again, moving as expected yesterday pretty much. Actually moved probably one of the cleaner moves in the morning, particularly straightforward. It's now right the way through, heading south. Could be back to the 34 easily enough, maybe eventually to the 50 MA, daily 50. So it's certainly in that sort of vein, but at the moment it's down to its daily S3, which may just provide some support for it for at least the short term. And again, it's quite extended away from the 60-20s, which it's been a while. So I'd be watching for that carefully, but my preference is to the downside. But as I say, in terms of range, it's already moved in quite a significant way this morning. So through the Asian session. Aussie dollar, another one. It's hit the monthly pivot, gone through. It's not looking necessarily the best yesterday, but it certainly just did pretty much get there eventually. A bit like the pound in terms of slowness. It's up into its weekly R3 rather at the moment, and having a bit of a reaction to that. So just pulling back from that R3 again, an untouched daily pivot, and well, it's more recently hit the 60-20s, but there is a chance that if it does start breaking down, it will pull at least to that maybe back to the daily pivot. So just watching for that. I mean, these Asian moves sometimes it runs through the Asian session and gives it back a little bit, but we'll see how strong this new move is. It's obviously some US dollar weakness throughout. And as we come in and we look at the Canadian dollar again, yesterday big down day there, so quite a lot lost to the dollar there. And in fact, let's just quick flick into oil. And I mean, oil wasn't a particularly great day yesterday. It did recover a bit, but the previous day, sorry, it'd been up as high as 55, down to 52, back towards the 53 sort of zone at the moment. So still much better than it had been back in the $50 range. So I'd expected the Canadian dollar to have done better, but it is now. Somewhere from here, again, reasonable move already. Just finding a bit of support off the combination of a midpoint on the pivots and the daily 100, but still potential further downside here. Again, we sort of may see a bit of a retrace into the 60-20s, and that may be a point for further short selling on the Canadian dollar. And again, yesterday I just pointed out the width of this range here, and of course it was more than hit yesterday. We went right away through all of that range effectively to the downside. So after consolidating for such a time, it did eventually go pretty well. So today, as much as I'd rather be on the bearish side of this, I've just got to bear in mind it may come back, as I say, to the 60-20s, or maybe even as far back as the pivot. It has gone a reasonable way through the Asian session, not as far as some of the others on this one, so it might not have such a big retrace, but all the same, many of these currencies have got a bit extended through their Asian periods. Right, news-wise today, we have got important news for the pound. We've got services PMI at 9:30. We've got an MPC speaker at 1 o'clock. Due to speaking issue of government in London. Okay, there's a possibility we could get some volatility around 1 o'clock on the pound then. And then at 1:15, ADP non-farm payrolls. I personally expect this to be a lesser mover this month because, well, it wasn't a great mover last month actually. And then we've got the US ISM non-manufacturing or services PMI at 3 p.m. Crude inventories at 4. So certainly some potential volatility points there at 9:30, 1:15, 3 o'clock and 4 o'clock. So things to put in the calendar. Right, okay, that's it for me. Have a good one. Bye for now.